statement as usual, and then media members, if you all can go ahead and press that raise hand button for questions for Coach, but we'll let you take the floor now.
Yeah, what a great comeback win. Can't say enough about the grit and determination of our guys and the staff. To be down 21-3. Pretty incredible victory. And obviously the way that MJ sparked us and brought us back and made plays, and guys started making plays for him. Pretty impressive for a true freshman to do that. So it was a great night. I thought the military appreciation piece was special. Our game operations folks deserve definitely a shout out for that. And for our fans that stayed for 4 quarters, thank you for not giving up, for those of you that stayed. And, you know, just when a team gets down like this, they need everyone they can get behind them. And I thought our guys had grit. They had a lot of toughness. Thayer Thomas, you know, huge play. Trent Penix coming back, made some huge plays. The defense, first half shutout, and then fourth quarter shutout. And you got to give Virginia Tech's quarterback some credit. He made some throws in that third quarter, and guys made some nice plays, but we just kept playing. And I think, you know, that's one state going to Jimmy V, never quit. And I think that's something that our team has embraced and our university has embraced. So Chancellor Woodson, light it red, man. Light it red. That was a pretty special win tonight. And I promise, you know, some for the future with that quarterback, you know, I think pretty exciting, you know, to see what he's done with really a week and a half of reps there. So big one coming up. I'm going to enjoy the Friday and Saturday without football for me, and definitely going to enjoy it tonight. Questions?
James, you can go ahead, and a reminder to everyone else to go ahead and use that raise hand function, but James, you're up first.
Hey, Dave, congrats on the win. Obviously in the third quarter, things kind of steamrolled a little bit in their favor. A point in that quarter where you felt the momentum really flip back to you guys, because it almost felt like the wave went completely the other way at one point.
No, it did. I mean, we gave up some big plays at corner and had a couple penalties that hurt us. Gave momentum, you know, and we're on the rails, and they completed the third quarter there, and we were able to win the fourth. So it was a heck of a football game.
And just to follow up, I know you talked about MJ's performance, but to be able to end the game there with your being able to run the ball the last 5 minutes, just can you discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I was proud of the O-line, tight ends, running back, Jordan Houston, the way he ran, MJ. But that was big to not give them another opportunity. That 3rd and 3 run by Jordan, I thought was an excellent run. But just grinded it out, you know, did what was necessary to win. And I thought Coach Beck really called some key play calls there in that fourth quarter too. You know, the tight end pop pass that we ran off a quarterback run to Penix that was uncovered. We got them confused. It was a really nice play call timing wise. And then the screen out of empty out of our trips formation, we got him in cover 0. And as soon as I saw him lined up that way, I was like, man, throw it to Thayer, and he did the rest. So some timely calls. Coach Gibson was really aggressive in the fourth quarter. We moved Tyler Baker-Williams out the corner. So there's some really good adjustments being made, I thought, in that second half by our staff, and they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
David, go ahead.
Hey, Dave, congrats on the win. What gave you the confidence from what you saw in MJ in the first half to make him, you know, your lone guy in the second at quarterback?
He was moving us better. You know, he was 5 of 6 passing. I thought Jack missed some throws and just felt was more accurate. They both ran the ball fine, but you know, we need to be able to throw the football if the team's going to pack the box like that. Play cover 3, and they had a true freshman corner out there, and we had to be able to throw to win, and he was more accurate. So that's kind of what led to that. And you know, both of them practiced well, so it was really more just a feel in the game.
Evan, go ahead.
Coach Payton had an unbelievable game, especially in that first half, but he had one huge play in the fourth quarter that really shifted momentum for you guys. Can you talk about what his performance meant to the team tonight and how getting big plays from the defense can spark an offensive change?
Yeah, I thought, Coach Gibson called a couple timely blitzes and beat their protection twice. Peyton, finished 2 plays there and about 2 sacks. It was awesome to see him like that. Was excited for him, to make those plays. He was super happy in the locker room. He just had an ear to ear smile. Love that kid. And yeah, so he played his butt off tonight.
Luke,
Dave, 16 straight to close out against Florida State and 19 straight tonight. Talked about the grit and all that, but are there any other common denominators you see in those 2 comebacks? Because that's the kind of thing that maybe happens once a season. To do it in consecutive home games is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Luke. I think it says a lot about the heart of this team, the chemistry of this team, the love of this team. Florida State, it was Jack, that brought us back, and this was MJ, and the kids just don't quit here. We've built a culture of persistence and perseverance and love, and it shows. And that was a tough moment, man. We're down 21-3, and I'm running up and down the sideline, hitting guys, and don't quit. We're going to find a way to win this football game. Just keep playing. You got to win the game. You're the magic in this thing, and they are. And they just started doing it. They started doing their jobs, and it's a lot of time in the game still, we're down 21-3, and I think there was 8 minutes left in the third quarter. There's lots of time to come back and win that game, and I knew our defense could hold them. So it's just it's hard to put a kind of in conversation and really just to understand what these guys feel for each other. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're seeing it, Luke, to answer your question. Like, there's not many teams that could do what we just did. There's just not. I think it takes a special group of guys and leadership to do that.
Sorry, if I could just follow up real quick. Did anything you guys talked about during the off week in terms of sort of, let's stay the course, let's readjust our goals? Do you think there was any of that discussion at 21-3? Because that's where a team that's all right, you lose to Clemson, you lose to Syracuse, so maybe not the season you expected. That's an easy place to give up. And you guys instead sort of rallied and came back.
Well, don't give up, period. That's not ever going to happen as long as I'm the head coach at NC State. We're never going to quit, man. That is not going to happen here. As far as readjusting goals, like, the focus was on winning this next game, getting bowl eligible, keeping our home winning streak alive. This team can still win 10 games. Like, all those things were discussed, but more it was just like, how do we win this football game? What do we have to do to with our quarterback injured to give ourselves a chance to win? And how can we get better? And some of it was really good. Some of it was really bad, and found a way to make a few more plays than them.
Brett, you're next.
Yeah, Dave, James asked you earlier about the momentum shifting to Virginia Tech's favor in the third quarter. Was there anything in particular that kind of got it back going in your favor, or was it something that just kind of happened gradually?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the game. Right now, it's kind of surreal. I think it was probably our first, whatever the touchdown was that we scored there. And I can't remember if that was the end of the third or the beginning of the fourth where it happened. What'd you say?
Yeah, it was in the third. Yeah, it was late third.
Yeah, and that's where I felt like the sideline all of a sudden believed. I think he threw a touchdown to Thayer, didn't he, on a slot fade? Yeah. So we finally completed a downfield pass, like down the field, over 20 yards. And I think that was kind of like, hey, we can do this, and we've been dinking and dunking with throws, but once that happened, you could just feel it, and that's really all it takes sometimes. It's just proof.
And Ethan, you're going to have our last one for Coach Doeren, so you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Terrell Timmons stepped up in a big way tonight.
Sure did.
What have you seen out of him recently at practice and then tonight that you've liked?
He's a very gifted ball catcher. He can go up and track the football and elevate. He's got really, really good speed, and he's just been coming on. Our defense has been just raving about him on the scout team, and felt like we needed another playmaker on offense. A guy that could stretch the field and us out. So just, looking for another way to get a vertical threat in the pass game. And you saw a glimpse, like this guy's really, really special. And once he learns the offense, he's got a huge, huge upside.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
All right, that's it for Coach. Thanks
you,
again,
guys.
Coach. Orr. Congrats on the win. And it is sounding like we are going to have